Man, I never thought that I have as much time to spend on a boxing-related topic. But, of course, if I'm talking boxing and it doesn't relate to Mayweather and Pacquiao, then probably somebody did something pretty stupid. Or a combination of people did something pretty stupid. Take Haye-Chisora and David Haye. I know KB got into this yesterday when he hosted the show. I was off yesterday, so quick reset and an update on what's going on. I don't need to rehash the whole thing, but I'll give you an update. Chisora has issued an apology for getting a bottle broken over his face for the role that he played in that post-fight melee over the weekend, where he and fellow heavyweight David Haye, who doesn't fight anymore, by the way, he's retired, scrapped at a presser in Germany. You'll recall that Chisora lost his fight to Vitaly Klitschko. Then he lost his brawl to David Haye after the fight. Then he lost his cool when he said that he was going to shoot David Haye and burn him.
David, you want to tell me that my face? You want to tell me my face? You want to tell me my face? All right, tell me my face then. I'm coming there and tell me my face. Tell me my face. I swear to God, David. Shoot you. I'm going to shoot. I'm going to shoot David Haye. Listen. Come on. I'm going to physically shoot David Haye. He glassed me. He glassed me.
It's a good thing there was no gun readily available, or he might have done it right there. I'm going to shoot David Haye. I'm going to shoot David Haye. What you didn't hear there is him also saying that he was going to shoot and burn him. Because, quote, he glassed me. He glassed me. He glassed me.
He glassed me.
If you've seen the video, when Chisora got up from that table and he came around with his entourage in tow, Haye was already standing up holding onto a bottle. So what are you going to do if you're David Haye and you've got this guy coming at you and his entourage as well, and you've got a bottle in your hand? You're probably going to glass somebody.
He glassed me.
All right, and then on top of that, Chisora ends his weekend by losing his freedom. He lost the fight, lost his cool, and then lost his freedom when he was arrested by German police. After all of that, he tried to apologize and admit that he let everybody down. Quote, whilst my behavior was inexcusable. Let me stop right there. Anytime somebody starts a sentence with, whilst my behavior was inexcusable, there's going to be like some kind of rationale coming up. Rationalization coming up. There's going to be a but. A rationalization coming up. Anytime somebody begins a sentence with whilst, somebody's not going to own what they pretend to be owning up to. Whilst my behavior was inexcusable, there were many things that went on behind the scenes that ultimately caused my frustrations to boil over. Despite all this, the bottom line is I've let my family, my team, and worst of all, the sport I love down. I mean, your behavior was inexcusable. Alvy, roll that one more time. This is what went down.
David, you want to tell me that my face? You want to tell me my face? You want to tell me my face? All right, tell me my face then. I'm coming there and tell me my face. Tell me my face. I swear to God, David. Shoot you. I'm going to shoot David Haye. Listen. Come on. I'm going to physically shoot David Haye. He glassed me. He glassed me.
I'm not even kidding. I could take that little montage that Alvy put together and get an hour on that alone. There's so many things that are so remarkable about that. I swear to God, David, I am going to shoot you. I'm going to physically shoot you.
I swear to God, David. Shoot you. I'm going to shoot David.
Physically. What, as opposed to mentally? If you listen to the very beginning of that, when he says, say it to my face, David, say it to my face, say it to my face, say it to my face, you can hear the table being pushed away as he gets up.
All right, tell me my face then.
Right there. That's the sound of trouble. Uh-oh! The table being pushed back is the sound of trouble.
All right, tell me my face then. Uh-oh.
If you hear that sound, you call the cops and you stay down. If you hear that sound, you get underneath the table that just got pushed away. That's the sound of trouble. Somebody is about to get glassed. If you hear that sound, somebody is about to get glassed.
He glassed me.
He glassed me.
He glassed me.
Well, the reason he glassed you was he was afraid that you were going to punch him. So he hit you first. Yeah, I give Haye credit in that regard. I'm not saying that Haye is without blame. Haye's up there, and he's allegedly working the fight as a member of the media, and he's making all sorts of trouble. He's just running his mouth, bumping his gums, making it about him, being a total spectacle. Guy was totally out of line. But Chisora was even more out of line by letting Haye hook him the way he did. That's what Haye does, man. He talks a lot of junk, and he looks to get under your skin and in your head and hook you. So for that guy to get up and push the table forward to make this sound, and then have his entourage follow him down the way, what was Haye supposed to do at that point? Better not ask any more questions. You better throw your fist first and then ask questions. And if you got to glass a guy, do it. The words "say it to my face" have gotten a lot of guys hurt. He knew what time it was. It was go time. He did what he had to do. All right, so then you got Chisora. He apologized for letting everybody down. Well, you let yourself down, don't forget that, and you should not have let your guard down when you approached a screaming Haye with your entourage and he was holding that glass. That's how dudes get glassed. And he got punched right in the jaw. And I love that hedge about how, quote, there were many things that went on behind the scenes that caused this. Yeah, there were things that went on behind the scenes that led to you slapping Vitaly. Is that also the case? I mean, this guy was so wrong and so out of hand the entire weekend. He slapped Vitaly at the weigh-in, and then afterwards said the reason he did it was he told his mother he would slap one of the Klitschkos when he got close enough to do it. What? He slapped the guy to weigh-in. And then on top of that, he then spit in Vladimir's face. He did both those things before the fight. Then he got punched in the face the entire fight. And then after the fight, he got punched in the face again, but this time by Haye. Has anybody had a worse weekend than Chisora? And then on top of that, got arrested and was questioned for 7 hours. 7 hours. Hey, man, that stands to reason. I said I can go an entire hour on that soundbite alone myself. The cops probably did need 7 hours with the guy. 7 hours. That probably was more grueling and more painful than the 12 rounds he spent in the ring with Vitaly. 7 hours. That shouldn't have taken 7 minutes. The amount of time that the length of the YouTube clip that they could have pulled up. If they've got an internet connection at the police station, all they had to do was pull that thing up. The Associated Press also points out that Chisora, quote, did not say what provoked him to descend from the top table and confront Haye. Yeah, that he had to. There were about 5 camera guys rolling. We all saw it. He descended from the top table because Haye was dissing him from the back of the room and clowning him for losing 3 fights in a row. That's what provoked him. That's why he descended from the table. That's why you heard this sound of the table moving forward. That's why. Because he kept saying you lost 3 fights in a row. Chisora was saying, hey, fight me, fight me. No, I'm not going to fight you. You've lost 3 fights in a row. How's your toe? How's your toe? How's your toe? Next thing you know, a guy got cracked in the jaw and somebody got glassed.
He glassed me.
He tried to play the self-defense card, which to a certain extent is true. Again, you got a guy rolling up on you with his entourage. You better defend yourself. But again, you were there making it about you and running your mouth and taunting this guy. Haye says he himself has been logging some YouTube time, and he's very disappointed in what happened. Haye said, quote, I've been thinking about what happened ever since, as well as replaying the incident many times via YouTube. I am bitterly disappointed to have been a part of what transpired on Saturday evening. And you were a part of it, all right. You know, both these guys could be looking at hard time. That's not just one of those things where that's an embarrassment to themselves and that's an embarrassment to the sport. They could be looking at hard time in the hole over what happened. So I think Haye's to blame, and I think Chisora's worse. Haye started it, Chisora tried to finish it, and they both look stupid. But way to go, boxing. At least we're talking about you. At least nobody got shot and burned. At least only a guy got cracked in the jaw and was glassed.
He glassed me.
I'm going, quote, I swear to God, I'm going to shoot you, David.
I swear to God, David. shoot you.
Bleeping shoot you. And burn you. As you might imagine, Haye, they were staying in the same hotel. They didn't go back to the hotel. They went right to the airport. And they say they were not running from authorities. They just didn't think it was very prudent to go back to the same hotel where Chisora and his crew were after he said he'd bleeping shoot him. Probably a smart play, except when authorities went looking for Haye, they couldn't find him because he'd already gone right to the airport.